proactive classrooms and smart classrooms and educational technology devices inside the classrooms and the buildings of the new colleges. We here represent the team that is going to implement educational technology and e-learning in the buildings of the colleges and the institutions of the applied education, the public authority of applied education and training. I would like first from each of us to introduce his name. So I will start with Dr. Khalid, please.
I'm Dr. Khalid Al-Kulli, Assistant Professor in Education Technology. My specialist and interest construction design.
Okay.
In the College of Basic Education.
Okay, construction design.
Department Construction Technology.
Okay. Very good.
Engineer Hussein Safar, Unit Monitor SAIT, Computer Response Team, and of course at the Department of Technology and Infrastructure of CATE, Kuwait Central Agency of IT. What they call it, let's call it the government entity which is responsible for all the IT departments and the IT initiatives.
Okay. They are responsible of any IT project that the government introduced to the private sector.
Okay.
Dr. Abu Bakr Al-Kadri from the College of the Technological Studies, Department of Chemical Engineering.
Okay. Thank you.
Muhammad Ali from library department.
He's the Vice Dean of Libraries.
Okay. Okay.
I'm Dr. Jabir Al-Nafi. Originally, I am an assistant professor in the College of Basic Education, Educational Technology Department. I am now the Vice Dean of Technology in the Dean of Libraries.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'll introduce myself. In fact, I'll do it this way. Oh, I'll do it this way. That is me.
You are much beautiful.
The Vice President International, so I look after all of our media site business for Sonic Foundry. So Sonic Foundry is the company, media site is the product. We tend to talk about media sites. My small territory, okay, let's talk about Sonic Foundry very briefly. It is our own product, our own focus. That is all we do. That is who we are, that is what we are. We are the world lecture capture market leader, but these days much more than that. Okay? And that's according to Frost & Sullivan. We have around about 2,000 customers now. It's increasing quite rapidly at the moment. We have over 100 employees. We're an American company. I'll give my business card out to those who haven't got it yet. I'm based in the UK and I look after the international business for the company for just a small territory. We'll talk about this first. We have distribution, integration, and event partners all over the world. We have several partners who are working within Kuwait, hold on, we don't want that happening, do we? Several partners who are working in Kuwait, and my decision to come here today is based on the fact that I'd like to give you a choice about who you're going to work with. If I come here on my own, you have a choice. If I come here with a partner, that choice is more difficult to make. So I understand the way this works.
We respect that and we admire that. Thank you.
So my little territory is this, okay? So as far as I'm concerned, this is called the stealth world. My team is called the stealth team. we're outside of the USA, outside of the Americas, and I do lots of things that are under the radar, right? Hence the name, the stealth, right? So that's my little territory. You can see the, excuse the projector lag problem here, but you can see the countries we are in, and we have lots of large networks all over the place. To highlight a few, in Saudi we have King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. They have over 130 rooms equipped with the product. Princess Noura is going live soon in Riyadh. That has over 100 recorders and a huge server configuration. So we have several in the UAE, but those are the two big ones, if you like, within the region. So we have pedigree out there, we have a product that works. The best way, I think, at this point, to illustrate what the product is to show you what the users will see, right? That sort of helps get an idea of what we'll see. Now, you're currently looking at my laptop. I said I was going to do the wrong mouse. I was nearly the wrong mouse. I have over here my recorder. Now, I've got a little switch here, and that will switch to the recorder up here. So this is the Media Site recorder. This Media Site recorder captures video, audio, and DVI input, and automatically synchronizes it. That is what that device does. Okay? The faculty, presenters, whoever, don't need to know about it. They don't, and I'm going to come to that. They know nothing about the device that is there. They have a room control device where they go, push the big red button, right? Or walk into a room and talk, because it's completely different. What you don't want to do in terms of creating content is give people more work to do. They have enough work to do. They want to turn up into a room and deliver their lecture, and they want to go away. That's what they want to do. If they can do that process and create excellent content while they're doing it, fantastic. And that makes the solution very scalable. So what I said I was going to do was show you what the end users will see. So first of all, there's a big red button which says go live. I've preset this. So if I click on go live, it now says recording. It says going live, and as soon as it is live, on the recorder, the mechanics of what is happening in the background, on the recorder we are now going live, and everything I do on here is going to be reflected on here. Okay? So everything I'm doing now is I'm actually capturing this event now. I'm now capturing everything I'm doing. Okay? Now, I'm now back here, and we have all sorts of audio going on because I actually have several sessions running here already. So if I go over to here, here is the browser actually on the recorder showing my content running, and so what I'll do is I'll mute that, right, so that we don't hear him. What I also have on my laptop is I have the browser running as well, and there is the session, me doing a live webcast on my laptop. What I have here is my iPad, and I am now playing on my iPad the exact same session and streaming live. I'll press the right button here somewhere. Streaming live to my iPad at the same time. And if I go to my iPhone and I press the, if I hold it the right way up and press the play button, I'm streaming to my iPhone as well, right? What we're doing is we're giving the ability for me to stand in this room and stream to people watching content live, watching content on a PC, on a Mac, on Linux, on iPad, on iPhone, on BlackBerry, and very soon on Android. It works on some Android at the moment, but the different versions of Android and the support available on the Android causes a few issues. It's coming. We believe the first release will be 6.02, which is towards the middle of February. Okay? So that's coming. I said I wanted to show you what I'm going to show you. What I'm going to show you, that everything leads to the ability to do this, right? And all I'm doing on my laptop is I am giving a presentation. That's all I'm doing on my laptop. Let me switch this audio off too. It's still coming out from somewhere. It's this one. Thank you. I think I'm going to go with. I can't get it anyway, we'll ignore it. It's coming from one of the ones I'm running.
We barely hear it.
Okay, that's good. It's very strange to me hearing myself coming back a lot. But anyway, you can see here some of the reference customers we have, some big universities, and they use it for all sorts of different applications, not just lecture capture. And I'm going to try to highlight that we are talking lecture capture, but it's not. It's not just lecture capture. We're talking about capturing content. We don't care what it is. It's a presentation. We don't care what it is. It is me on my laptop. And you saw on the session here, you saw that we were playing back, and because we were doing my laptop, and we were capturing my laptop, which was showing the client, we were capturing the client on itself, capturing itself, capturing its, we were capturing whatever happens on this, right? It doesn't have to be a laptop, right? Any DVI, it will capture up to 1920 by 1080. So if you have an electronic whiteboard, it will capture it. If you are in medical and you want to capture medical stuff, it will capture it, right? We don't care, right? That's the point. And you as faculty, you don't have to do anything. You turn up. You don't have to preload. You don't have to decide anything first. You just turn up and you talk as you were going to. And if you haven't got a presentation and you're annotating on a whiteboard, so be it. That's what it will capture.
Working wireless, right? You can work wireless.
All we want is, from the VGA, is we want this connection for the DVI and the video. So we can.
The teacher cannot move from the section with the class. Cannot.
No, well, no, because the camera will be capturing it. It just depends if their device is doing mobile wireless VGA to someone. Yes.
We need to transfer this with the Bluetooth.
Yes. If that's what we don't care about that, right? That's not something we're worried about, right? We just want DVI. We're not capturing it. We want something from a DVI device.
So we can put some connect the DVI with something, and this something connect to the.
Yes. Yes. So all we're saying is, like the same as with audio. You know, if you have an audio mixer, we'll capture the output of an audio mixer. If you have a video mixer, we'll capture the output of a video mixer. Right? We don't care. We just want our inputs, and we're good to go.
But how many inputs? Only one input?
One video, one audio, one DVI. At the moment, there is a plans for.
It's catching voice direction.
Yes,
It's not catching my voice, catching your voice.
No, it's capturing because I'm just using the audio. That's an audio issue too. So that depends on what microphone you have. Right? I'm just capturing from my camera. I carry enough around. The airlines make enough excess baggage out of me without carrying more microphones.
All your voice.
Yeah, well, because the camera's pointing at me and it wasn't coming out too loud at you guys, but it could do. I mean, if you have boundary mics in the room, then it'll capture the boundary mics in the room, and so you'll get the audience interaction. Okay. So, as I said, I'm capturing this part of this session, and I go through. We're not only in education, we're in corporate too, right? There's a lot of corporate customers up there. We do a lot of stuff in medical. Because it's used for certification training, ongoing training for doctors. They use it and they have to do these things called grand rounds. They have to prove they've done the grand round, and Media Site reports the fact they watched it, and that is good enough for their grand round doctor certification, their continuing medical education stuff. Okay. Media site is the most reliable. It has to work first time, every time, all the time. It is the most reliable, it does. It is the easiest to use, you don't have to know anything. The students don't have to learn anything. And it is the best supported, it is. I can't prove that, apart from my customers. But I can prove it, because of my customers. To improve learning outcome, stay competitive, that doesn't worry you as such for your organisation. Empower faculty to deliver content and boost outreach. Allow you to deliver more with less. That's in effect what it's doing. It records, it delivers, it allows people to watch, and probably the biggest part of all of the system is the ability to manage the content, right? That's the biggest part of the solution. You've just seen, and I specifically showed you, what the end users see. The question comes, which end users do we want to see it? How are we going to control this? Do we want him to be able to watch it? Do we want him to be able to watch it? Can you watch the same stuff as he can watch? How do we control it? How do we report on it? And that's where all of the questions come from. And how do we integrate with your learning management system? How do we integrate with your portal? How do we integrate with everything? How do we integrate with your room control systems? Most of this comes from the server side of the software, and a lot of effort has gone into that. MediaSite is a product developed as a video repository. That's what it had, and search. That's what it started life as. And we realised there was not the ability for people out there to create lots and lots and lots of content. Until you have lots and lots and lots and lots of content, you don't need any way of managing it, right? Once you have, we then realised, oh, we now need a way of managing it, and actually most of our product now is based around EX Server. The recorder and the development of the recorder to capture bigger and better and more things is going on, but we also want the ability to manage more and more things. And so the EX Server, you'll hear me talking about EX Server, that is our management solution. Okay. So what is MediaSite? MediaSite is a recorder, as you see, right? And that recorder connects, it takes the inputs we've talked about, it connects over the internet to a MediaSite server, right? The EX Server. There are, to get very technical, there are 4 functional areas with the product that we require. The functional areas are the web server, which is Microsoft IIS. There is a database, which is Microsoft SQL Server. There is Windows or IIS media services. And then there is a worker service, which handles transcoding and search and other background activities. So there are 4 functional areas. You can have 2 physical servers. You can have 4 physical servers. You can have hardware load balance with lots of physical servers. You can start with 2 physical servers and grow. Right? And you will ask the question, can they be virtualized? Yes.
How are you know?
I know you're going to ask.
I'm thinking of this one also.
No, you can't. You can put... I'll get to another picture in a minute. There is another form of this.
Thank you.
Which is a rack mount device which can all be centralized, and then you feed the VGA into the central.
Thank you. That's it, because it costs effective, and we're talking about how many classrooms we have. So it makes no sense in the...
No, I understand. I have pictures I can show you of that.
Okay, then good.
Okay. So we talked about a lot of this. Oops, I hit the wrong button again. Student perceptions of what MediaSite is. And of course they're all positive, but making up on missed class, watching on demand for convenience. I'll point you to some sessions, but there's a session from a professor of accounting and business administration in the Netherlands, Professor Bob van der Brandt. He joined Tilburg about 4 years ago, and since he's been there, with the aid of MediaSite, not just because of MediaSite, but what MediaSite allows them to do, they have reduced dropout by 20%. They've improved scores by 20%. And one of the reasons they reduced dropout, I like this story, they reduced the dropout of students is that
Listen, so take your time, have coffee.
Students would miss a class, and then they maybe, because they have to, they then miss another class, and now they are embarrassed to come back because there will be so much they've missed. They won't want to go to the lesson because they'll look stupid in the lesson. What they found is, because Media captures the lesson, the students, maybe it's for valid reason they missed the lesson, not just because they were being lazy, valid reason, they can now watch the lesson again offline, they can watch the next lesson they missed offline, they are now not behind, they can come back.
Offline we can download it.
And they can, well, they're streaming over the internet, the same as we are. That's, you,
If you don't have internet.
okay, they can you can make it so it's downloaded. That's not a problem.
Yes, in the campus line.
Yes.
And most of it also you could watch, which is happened most of the time with us in the school. We love this structure, and we love the way he gives it, the way he grades, but we love the other structure that he explained the material much better.
Yes.
Then we could now use this, so we could
Precisely. And Bob finds that he has students on the course who are not his, who watch his content. And I'll show you some of the...
Another application very important also. We have a rule here, we separate girls' school from the guys. Now, at the same structure, you could be in the girls' campus, and the guys could watch the same structure live. They could ask.
Yes.
And that's why it's two-way.
Not two-way voice.
Okay, thank you.
Not two-way voice. This is a webcasting, not a web collaboration tool.
Thank you.
Right? Very clear about that. Right?
When you transfer videos, we can control the name. The name the video.
I'm going to show you all of that. I'm going to go through the workflow now, right, of how we do this, right?
Okay.
What I don't do is just talk to you about it, I show it to you, right? I'm going to go through the whole workflow from creating something.
But the name of the video.
Yeah, I'm going to show you everything.
I would prefer to read the questions to the end. If you have any question, please write it down so you can remember.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, you can see me do this on the recorder, is I'm going to just click, actually I can click pause on the recorder. That's useful. The ability, you might want to say, you're a very bad student, right? You don't want to record the fact that I'm saying you're not a bad student. Yeah. Well, I don't know, you might be a bad student. I don't know. But anyway, you can then resume and it will start up again. I'm actually now going to click stop on there, and it says you're doing a live webcast. And by the way, it doesn't have to be a live webcast, right? I don't have to live webcast. I am just live webcasting, right? Now, let me flip over to here. What it's now doing here is, it is now taking that content that it has been streaming through the server, it's now taking that content and publishing it to the server, right? Automatically. So as soon as I click stop, because I've configured it that way, as soon as I click stop, it will publish it to the server. It will do whatever transcoding I've told it to do on the server, and it will become automatically available. The intention is, and generally this works, that the students in your lecture, right, they don't take notes because they know it's being recorded. So now they can focus on your lecture. How many times have you been in a lecture, you've been writing something down, and you missed something because you were writing? You don't have that problem, okay? They come out of their lecture, they go down to the canteen, they get out their iPad. What did he say? He plays it. It's available, right? It's important that it's available immediately because, especially if they're now going to go home, their homework is to do their notes, right? They go home and they do their notes and they do their research. If it's not available today, instantly, then tomorrow they've had more lectures that they will revise, and the day after, and further away from the lecture. And studies show students watch it 24 hours after the lecture, within 24 hours after the lecture, and 5 days before the exam. Right? That's when they watch it, which is fine. That's perfect. You know, or they watch it if there's another subject that's coming up, they need this background material. You know. So that's published to the server. Okay, I will stay on here for the moment. So I will go over to. This is what a user would see, and this is. This needs to refresh. Actually, my apologies. Let me do a refresh. And you won't see Wayne Monday lunch because it's still doing its transcoding. So this is what a student could see. This is a user catalogue. You'll see we have a hierarchy on the left-hand side, which is talking about university, business, education, engineering, whatever. Okay. I also have up here, using the right mouse, I also have up here a media site catalogue of the complete system, right? If I'm logged on as administrator, I can see everything, right? And under university, I have everything that we saw in the hierarchy, right? Exactly the same. Now, what this means is you can have faculty content within your server that only you can see. They don't even know other stuff's there because it's embedded and you've hidden it from them. You're not encouraging them to go off and look. You can create parts of the hierarchy that is public, right, that anyone can see, or certain groups can see by linking back to Active Directory LDAP, right? So it links back to your Active Directory LDAP for the whole education system if you want. We can look at I'm going technical for you, look at 4 different directories, so you can do your accreditation against 4 different directories. And then you can point the students to wherever they want to go, and when they log in, you see in the top right, I'm logged in as a media site, which is an administrator. When they log in, they will get to the content they are allowed to see. Right? So this is, again, I'm showing what a student can see. Now, on the iPhone, which is a bit of a struggle for me to show you, and I need to work out how I'm going to do this. I will work out how I'm doing this Safari, and I want to go to here. And that way, there. On the iPhone, we have a different catalogue, okay? So we have a catalogue that doesn't have lots of words, doesn't have lots of other stuff, right? That catalogue.
Dr. Hamid Al-Rashidi is from College of Basic Education, Department of Educational Technology. He's in the team of educational e-learning team.
Okay, thank you. So there is the catalogue that you'll see on an iPhone. But to get to that catalogue, same as with all the content, you click the same link and the system decides, oh, you're on an iPhone, you're going to get that. Oh, you're on a PC, you're going to get that. Right? It decides. When you play content on your iPhone, it decides what player you're going to get. When you play content on a PC, it decides which player you are going to get. So you don't have students trying to make a decision about what they're going to watch. They get what is most suitable for the device they are on. Okay. So that's what students can see. Okay. Now matching what the students can see is we have, sorry, I'm in the wrong place. We have a management portal. And on the management portal, which is not going to like, we'll have to log in again, I think. Oh no, it's okay. On the management portal, we have exactly that. I'm on here as an administrator. I can see everything that is possible to do on this system. I can see it, I can do it, right? So I said to you, I was going to show you the type of workflow. So this is what, when I go to the management portal, the EX server, this is what an administrator would be doing, what a technician would be doing, not what faculty would be seeing, not what faculty would be worrying about, right? They just don't worry about all of this stuff at all. We have, within here, we have things like players. So these players are the look and feel of the content, right? That's how the content will look when it gets down to the end user. So if I say media site full experience and look at that, there is the media site full experience player. What I can also do is if I go into my university folder and I click on the university full player, you'll see that the header has changed. I've customised it to look and feel for the department, the faculty, the school, whatever you want it to be. And the customisation of this is literally drag and drop a JPEG. Right? That's it. That's the customisation. It really is very, very simple to customise. Very simple to set up and use. Okay? So that's, as I say, that's how we set up players. Based around players as well is if I go back to university and I get rid of player and go and look at templates, there is this university template live, and the template will do me a live webcast, okay, and it's going to have me as a presenter. It's going to use the university full player, right? So you define all of this, so you define it once, this template once. So you could have your template, you could have your template with you as the presenter. You would have a template and you can see your template. You can't use his template. Well, you probably could, but you can't use his template. Right? Whichever way around, you get the idea. You set this up once, right, for an organisation, and